Hi friends, warm greetings and heartiest thanks from the behalf of us Astrology YouTube channel dedicated to exploring all the odds related with Vedic Hindu astrology for enriching you with a deeper insight in the field of occult. Tonight, I am going to astrologize the burning celestial energy, the red planet, the Mars, decoding all the three aspects involved with it. So, Pulse, as we all know, there persists a general notion referring Mars as a cruel or a malefic planet. But the very term Mars, translated into Bengali or Hindi, reads as Mongol, denoting something auspicious, something good. So, trust me, Mars is never that much negative a planet. Rather, Mars is a soldier, is a fighter, is a brave general dedicated to providing us with protection and nourishment. So, to understand Mars completely, we have to understand it, we have to conceptualize Mars from the perspective of soldiers. Give me a give me an answer. Who protects us and your country? The answer is very simple. It is the soldiers who protects us. Though it is also true that they also have to be very cruel in the battlefield. But at last, ultimately, it is also the soldiers who bring us peace. So it will be wise to conceptualize Mars from the perspective of a soldier. Again, you can also see Mars as a doctor. What does doctor do? They do not get emotional while penetrating their knife through our soft skin. Their sharp knife, penetrates into our body, remove the malfunctioned and the unwanted ones, remove the infected ones, and again with exact perfection comes out of our body, curing us, healing us. Thus, a surgeon provides us healing, provides us nourishment. Mars is also the same. But the only difference is that it acts like a general. It does not like slow pace. And the Mars always carries the aggression of general with it. And it is quite remarkably evident, explicitly noticeable in the characteristic traits of the native, with Mars being prominent in their natal chart. Let's understand Mars from a legendary tale. You may also cite Devi Katha as reference to this legendary inclusion. According to this legendary inclusion, there are two Rakshasas. Rakshasas means demons. One is named Hiranyakashyap and the other is Hiranyaksha. They are two brothers. Once Hiranyaksha stole the earth from its place and hid it in the darkness of the dungeon. Then Vishnudev took the form of Baraha. Means Baraha is a Sanskrit term. It means wild boar or boar. I mean to say that Vishnudev took the avatar of Baraha and brought earth from the dungeon of hell on its horns and put it on its exact place. Then the earth shaped into its beautiful appearance of an attractive woman, and Vishnudev got attracted to her. True love, honest love, ever persisting love got Vishnudev and Earth merged into one another completely, and from their meeting comes out a burning celestial energy. Later, this one was given place in our solar system in the name of the Mars for the protection of the Mother Earth. Now, guys, you will also have to remember that legendary tales speak in resemblance or in symbols. Now, try to understand the reason behind Mars being given the responsibility of protecting the Mother Earth. The reason is very simple, because who else would have served the purpose of protection of Mother Earth other than the one born out of the one who already have saved this Mother Earth, and who else would have served the purpose of protecting someone other than the son of that one. So Mars, from that time on, started being deemed as a general in our in among all the planets in our solar system, with the purpose of giving protection to our Mother Earth. Now, before moving forward to the planetary aspects being assigned to the planet Mars, let's understand the planetary aspects. Pulse, Mars has been assigned the lordship of the eighth zodiac in the universal natal chart of Kalpurusha. Saturn is the lord of the 10th zodiac, and Jupiter is the lord of the ninth zodiac in the universal natal chart. So these three planets are assigned three aspects: eighth one for the Mars, ninth one for the Guru Jupiter, and 10th one for the judge Saturn. Again, these three planets also poses the direct and exactly opposite aspect, that is the seventh aspect, quite similar to that of all other planets existing in our solar system, including the shadowy planets like Rahu and Ketu. Besides these two aspects, these three planets also poses one spatial aspects, and these spatial aspects really make these three planets really special to be talked about. Mars has been given the fourth aspect, Jupiter the fifth aspect, and Saturn the third aspect. Now, let me clarify you how to calculate planetary aspects. To calculate planetary aspect, you have to move forward anti-clockwise. And for shadowy planets like Rahu and Ketu, you have to do that clockwise manner. So, to be precise, while moving across in a natal chart to count planetary aspects, you have to consider the house where that constant planet is positing at as the first house, and from there you have to count clockwise or anti-clockwise. The process is really simple. Now let's start decoding the fourth aspect of the planet Mars. Now, what does fourth house symbolize? Fourth house symbolizes our family, our home, our mother, our vehicles, our wealth, our luxuries, all the assets that we take pride of fall under the control of the fourth house. Again, Mars is a soldier, is a general, is a fighter, and general is always the best to guard our home, to guard our family, to guard our mother. And it is for this reason that the very first aspect of Mars, that is the fourth aspect, is reserved for the purpose of giving protection to our mother, to our home. And it is also for this reason Mars has been assigned the lordship of the ascendant of the universal natal chart of Kalpurusha, and from there Mars will aspect the fourth house to give protection to our Mother Earth, all the assets within, and everything that makes happy Kalpurusha about his home. So it will be no exaggeration to state that natives tend to get protective about the stuffs related with the house getting fourth aspect from the Mars. To protect, one needs to be strict and at times needs to show aggression or scold. This protective attitude very often makes natives possessive also. Let's understand it from the perspective of soldiers also. Hmm. It is really the soldiers who are really tough to match in terms of their patriotism, their zeal, their bravery, their valor, their burning passion while chanting for the motherland and while running wildly without paying heed to second thought, to any kind of second thought, to plunge into enemy's dens to save the borders is really unmatching. The soldiers really know the real worth of the country. They know it because they feel that their country is their own mother. They really feel it. There is no iota of doubt about that. And this very feeling and their indomitable and the indomitable zeal, the burning passion, the bravery, the valor, the spirit of the soldiers get completely merged with this very feeling of possessing their country as their mother. And this very feeling of possessing their country as their mother drives them really insane while they hear about enemies stepping into their motherland and they plunge into the enemy's den, ignoring their very self, ignoring the concept of death to protect the dignity of our mother, of our country. So, the spirit, the indomitable zeal to protect the burning passion, to plunge into danger without thinking about the outcome, without paying heed to any kind of second thought about what will happen, what is going to happen, to save the country without this very feeling of possessing or owning the country as their mother is really tough to ooze out into reality. Hence, it can rightly be said that possessiveness goes hand in hand where protection is concerned. Now, let's understand the fourth aspect from Mars with a practical example. Suppose Mars is positing at the ascendant in a natal chart, and from there it will aspect the fourth house quite normally. So again, fourth house is is our home, is our family, is our mother. So such natives will really be protective, caring, sensitive about their mother. The zeal, the indomitable spirit to do anything, to even die for our mother, is really evident in the characteristic traits of the natives with Mars positing at the ascendant in the natal chart of that concerned native. Now again with natives, with Mars getting connected strongly with the ascendant somehow, either by aspect or by position, same thing happens. Now let's take one more example. Suppose Mars is positing at the fourth house in a natal chart, in a particular natal chart. So from there, Mars will aspect the seventh house as he, and seventh house is the house of the spouse. So such natives will really be protective and caring and sensitive about their spouse. Now, the reason, for the very reason of getting more and more protective about their spouse, the possessiveness is bound to surface in the characteristic traits of such natives, resulting in an advent of year of suffocation in the sky of their marital relationships. Sooner or later, quite unknowingly, these natives will become over possessive about their spouse. And it is also for this reason that natives with fourth house Mars in their natal chart are called Manglik. So the only remedy for such natives will be, I will here only talk about practical remedies because it works a lot. The only remedy for such natives will be to understand the difference between getting protective and becoming possessive. If if a native understands such a very smooth difference between getting protective and becoming possessive, the conflict in the marital relationship is the must to evaporate like a mist. Now let's move forward to the seventh aspect. Seventh aspect is the direct and completely opposite aspect, and every planet possesses this aspect. It is exactly the 180-degree opposite from the house where the concerned planet is positing at. There is the general notion referring seventh aspect posing challenges and hindrances in the road to the accomplishment for the native. But Mars, in terms of Mars is a natural soldier, a natural fighter, a brave general. It is always brimming with energy to fight through anything to winning. So, what is the challenge in front of Mars? Rather, what will happen? Mars will plunges into the unfathomable depth without thinking about the outcome, without thinking about the danger involved in the road of the darkness, and will return back winning, completely relying on its never giving up attitude, bravery, and valor. So, such natives will try, will keep on trying. I mean to say, such natives will plunge into the danger without paying second heed, without paying heed to any kind of second thought of dangerous outcomes, completely ignoring their very self to win or to set their leafy banners high over the stuffs related with the houses getting seventh aspect from the Mars. Let's also understand this. Okay, let's also understand this with practical example. Suppose Mars is positing at the ascendant in a natal chart, and from there it will aspect the seventh house, the house of the spouse. Such natives will try to boss their spouse. They won't never be able to understand the problem with it because they possess the attitude and mentality of generals who are not used to taking orders from others. They will try to dominate or to boss their spouse, rule their spouse. So conflict is a must in such kind of relationships, and no rocket science is required for telling that. because spouse is not a thing to win or to dominate or to rule over. They are to be loved and to be adored. Bravery, valor, indomitable spirit, indomitable zeal, never giving up attitude to fight through anything to winning are the emotions which may are the qualities which may win you pride and respect outside home. But in inside home, in terms of relationships, such things evaporate really like mist. They have no importance, no significance. But such natives will be under the impression that they should get the same kind of respect from their spouse as they get outside their home, because they feel that they deserve that because of their qualities of bravery, valor, daring. But such things will never happen. Love, okay, let me put one more thing. What is the point to ask a general to offer a bouquet of rose to win in the battle of love? Because they know only one language to win. But here you'll have to understand that love does not win you things, rather, things stay with you because you love them. But who will make these things understand? Generals. They are not used to taking orders from others. Now let's understand this from one more example. Suppose Mars is positing at the second house in a natal chart with its seventh aspect falling on the eighth house. Eighth house is the house of death, occult. So such natives will be fearless. They can match their eye with that of the death. They will plunge into danger without thinking what is going to happen, because they want to see what is going to happen. They won't stop doing the things. They won't stop taking the risks to win throughout the danger, to win the danger. Professions like professions like thrilling jobs involving high risk, such as jobs of stuntmen, are matchable with such natives, and they really get into such kind of professions. Suppose natives with afflicted Mars or negative eighth house, still they will try to plunge into the danger, ignoring their very self, to return back winning the danger that everyone won't even think of plunging into. So Mars is a kind of energy who likes to win and do good by winning. Again, professions or natives involved in secret missions also bear such planetary situations in their natal chart. These guys really feel from their innate to win any kind of secret missions. Again, such natives will feel a burning passion from their very within self to win in the sphere of the occult. They will really become the master of the tantras. So, to sum up, to be precise, it can rightly be said that seventh aspect from Mars symbolizes that the natives will try to win anything and capture everything related with the house getting seventh aspect from Mars. And this characteristic will really be remarkably evident in the native with such planetary position of Mars in the natal chart. Now move on to the eighth aspect, the real aspect of the red planet Mars. What is eighth house? Eighth house is always ununderstandable, unfathomable. No one can guess its darkness or brightness. Similarly, as death is, no one can apprehend the time of death, how far or how near death is. Eighth house is also unknown, secret, and unprecedented every time. It is the dungeon of the hell. It is really the dungeon of the hell. No one knows where it starts from and where it ends. And astrology also falls in the realm of the eighth house, as astrology has also no end. No one can grasp mastery in the sphere of astrology entirely. It is next to impossible. Now, the eighth aspect from Mars signifies the daring, the valor, the bravery required to penetrate or plunge into that world of dungeon, into that world of darkness, the indomitable zeal to search the unknown, research way out to a handsome solution, and return back to the world of light through that world of darkness. You can also say that the house getting eighth aspect from Mars will be like a riddle for the concerned native, and the native will never give up solving that riddle. It will be like a world of house of darkness for the native. Again, it can also be summed up in this way, that the eighth aspect from Mars signifies the struggles, I mean to say the struggles that the native will have to face while moving along in the world of dungeon to reach the desired accomplishment. The struggles in which the native take a thoughtless plunge, taking high risks to set their leafy banners high on the staffs related with the houses getting eighth aspect from the Mars. Let's also understand this from the perspective of soldiers. Suppose a battle is getting waged in a dark forest. So what will soldiers do? Soldiers will just listen to the orders from their senior pro, and after the order has been being given, the soldiers won't think of anything. They will just start moving forward into the darkness. They don't know how far away enemy soldiers are waiting for them, or what kind of conspiracy or what kind of traps are being set for them. They may encounter death at any second, but still they won't think of such dangerous outcomes. They have heard the orders from the senior pro, and they will keep on moving and moving forward, completely irrespective of what is going to happen, or completely ignoring their very self. They are ready to welcome death, only to follow the orders from their senior pro. Such is the zeal, such is the valor, such is the bravery gets associated with natives, with Mars getting prominent, with the eighth aspect of Mars getting prominent, and same thing happens with soldiers. Now let's also understand this with a practical example, quite astrologically. Suppose Mars is positing in a natal chart at the sixth, okay, at the sixth house, and from there its eighth aspect will fall on the first house. What is first house? First house is our very self. So for such natives, their very self will be a world of darkness for them. It will be like a riddle for them. They will always stay under the impression that they know nothing about their potentials. They will sense, they will never stop working on themselves. They will always keep on or stay engrossed in digging inside and inside to find out what more they can do. And the more they dig inside, the more they will discover about them, the more they will discover themselves in a new way. Again, such planetary position, I mean to say that sixth house Mars aspecting the first house, predicts of severe injuries in battlefield like losing limbs or severe surgeries that has to be implemented on the head of the native due to injury in the battlefield, as sixth house also represents doctors, diseases. Okay, take it in this way that Mars also represents doctors, weapons, and injuries. There are a lot more examples of many soldiers with such kind of planetary positions getting severely injured in a battlefield. But such soldiers have never thought of any kind of such dangerous outcomes while going into the battlefield. They simply took the plunge without paying heed to any kind of second thought of any kind of dangerous outcomes. They are completely ignorant of their very self. They simply took the plunge to see what is going to happen. So, eighth aspect from Mars signifies such burning passion, such indomitable spirit present within the very soul of the native to plunge into the danger, to plunge into the unknown without thinking about the danger involved in the world of the unknown, to fight battles, to win pride, to win respect, to win reputation, to protect the dignity of the country, of the motherland. Such is the significance of eighth aspect from Mars. Now let's conclude this discussion regarding Mars and together with its aspects. If you find this video even a bit of informative, which may have helped you even a bit to enrich, to increase your insight into the Vedic Hindu astrology, please and please do subscribe my channel and hit the like button. It will inspire me a lot to come up with many more such interesting videos into the from the dens of the Vedic Hindu astrology. It is so much interesting, and I can guide you through that world of dungeon because I also have Mars in my ascendant aspect in the eighth house. Okay. You may also consider joining my Facebook page. The link will be given in the description button. You may also consider visiting my website. The link will also be given there, and in my website, in my web pages, you will be able to understand this concept. You will be able to understand, conceptualize Mars with various examples, with real life situations depicted through images. Thanks a lot.